How you guys doing today? My name is Cameron Whitmore off the cuff, and I'm here with.
Hey, I'm Aiden Thatcher. I'm going to be the co-anchor.
Okay, and I'm the host.
And I'm Rachel.
Okay. So how are we doing today? How are we doing this evening? We got any plans? What's going on for today? How are y'all feeling? What's your energies like? Are y'all good? Just want to make sure everybody's okay.
Good. Nothing planned.
Okay,
Just
cool.
start to a week, Monday.
Right. Nah, no doubt. So let's go on and get to our first topic. You shall. Is that supposed to be me getting the first topic?
I can. What did we want to talk about? The LeBron James talking about the Celtics fans.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, LeBron James. He said on his technically podcast, technically TV show, called The Shop. He said that when he was at Boston Celtics, when he was playing the Boston Celtics at the arena, that he experienced racism and throughout the whole nine. And I personally understand what he's talking about because I've went to the arena. I know how many people are there. And yes, it is the North, but there's also people who are like that, and there's also racism everywhere. But particularly in that arena, those certain people are definitely like they go way off. Those fans are definitely like push. I'm gonna push his buttons. I'm gonna say whatever it comes to my mind. I don't care if it's racist or not. They gonna push your buttons. And that's the problem I have with those Celtics fans, because you're gonna experience racism everywhere, especially when they spray painted the N-word on his his house. They sprayed it on his house, like I think his fence. They sprayed the N-word on his fence with red spray paint. And then they also did a lot of other things. We're talking smack during the finals, things like that. So this isn't LeBron James' first rodeo when it comes to like experience racism in the like NBA by the fans. So I just like to what's your guys' thoughts on it, and how do you guys feel about it?
He even said that he's gotten a beer thrown on him at the Celtics game, leaving a Celtics game. That's insane. There's a difference between chopping it up, making it funny, involving the crowd. And then when you start getting the race into it, that's just extra and it's not needed. Especially when you start, that's assault, throwing beer on somebody. That's just next level. That's not fun for anybody.
Exactly. Personally. Right. What about you, Aiden? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron, for some reason, he takes it better than any other superstar. I remember back when they played the Warriors, and I think it was like 2016 finals. He was walking off a lost, tough game, and some lady called him the P word and the B word, and it's just like he handles it better than anybody else. He's taken this abuse basically since he was in high school. I mean, I remember he's probably been the most hated athlete of our generation. But it doesn't, give those fans the right to do that. They can boo him, they can cheer against them, but there's a line that, there's a fine line where it kind of gets too far. And, Boston fans, I'm in the Northeast, so Philly fans are kind of like that to me too, where they kind of take things a little bit too seriously sometimes.
Philly fans are another deal. They hate that man Ben Simmons. Like, they hate him. Like, let's not even get on. They despise him. Them are some rough riders. Like, when people talk about Philly fans and the people of Philly, like, it's like, yo, push. Like, if you come to Philly, you come play basketball there, basketball, football, whatever you're playing, literally sport.
I went to game five, Miami and Philadelphia. It was in Miami. I was there, and there was still crazy Philadelphia fans. It was insane. They are next level. They're right there. It's insane.
They are fans. You got Lakers fans. Lakers fans are kind of like, they're kind of like, whatever, soft. They're in LA. They're chilling. They're kind of living life. In Philly, you got it. It's cold. They work in blue collars. All of them working in factories and things like that. So when they come home, they want to see some winning. They want to see a game. So what they do, They're gonna come at you. They're gonna come at you. If your heart is not in it, they're gonna run you out that town, just like they did Ben Simmons. They ran him out, and now he in Brooklyn, and we don't know what he gonna do. I'm just saying we don't know what he gonna do. But going back to LeBron James thing, LeBron James definitely, like Aiden said, he has handled it very well. He has handled a lot of things well. LeBron James probably the only, I think, one of the basketball players who probably hasn't responded in such like a turmoil way. Because other players, I'm gonna box you up. There's been there's been multitude of times where a fan says something. Westbrook is all. A fan says something. Westbrook, he ready to lose it all. He ready to lose it all. For what? Nah, but LeBron. Speaking of racism, LeBron James definitely has experienced racism in the NBA, and I think that they should really try to check that. But at the same time, you really can't. So all you can do is just like ignore it and keep pushing forward, and then change the culture, the environment of that stadium for those players and those fans. They need to try to do that as well, because we also are waiting. Well, some people are actually waiting on. I read an article that some people are waiting on for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to talk about, since those are like the two pinnacle players and superstars on their team, if you want to call them superstar or star, whatever. But let's go on to our next topic. What is the next step for Westbrook, and why do you think he should go to the Nets? Nah, I'm joking. But what do you guys think about what's the next step for Westbrook, and what does he need to do to like get his game better if he stays in LA? Or if he moves, what's the next step for him?
Go ahead, Rachel. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't think he's staying in LA. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't think he's staying in LA. I think the Spurs have the best shot in getting him. I think they're the only team that's going to be able to work around what he wants. He wants to be the main ball handler. He does not want to take a bench role. He wants to be the man. And I think the Spurs are one of the only teams that, one, have the cap space, and two, don't have star athletes, that, they can move to the side so he can take that main role. So I think if he wants to be the big man, he's going to have to go to the Spurs and try to make a team out of the Spurs. Or he needs to sit down and play a bench role for a title contending team. But I don't think he's gonna, or retire. But I don't.
Retire? Wait, hold on. Why? Hold on. What do you think he might retire? You think he might retire?
I don't think he's gonna retire. But I think it would be almost smart if he did. I think he could kind of leave with some grace. Because he just wants to be the main ball handler, and he's not that anymore. He can't knock down the shots like he did in OKC. He gets bad shots. When he gets good shots, he can't knock them down. He's not OKC Westbrook no more. So the Spurs best shot. So, but
I kind of agree with that. I think he still has that athleticism, but a lot of people do feel like those OKC type things. Well, only reason why he's able to get those free shots off was because of, he had KD, Ibaka. They had a core. They had a crazy core, and they've known each other and things like that. They play with each other, so they know how Westbrook played and things like that. This past season, his field goal percentage, he averaged 18 points, 18.5 points per game. Right? This is the worst season Westbrook has ever had. He's usually averaging 20, 28, 30 points with a triple-double. Literally averaging triple-double. His field goal percentage was 44.4%. His three-point percentage is 29.8. And that's not even 29.8. It's not even that bad, but he didn't take those many three shots like that.
No.
And Westbrook gets more points than Westbrook. Only got 1,441 points last season. Westbrook gets more points than has had more points in previous season. So I don't really know what he needs to do. You said Spurs. That's kind of an interesting thing, because they basically got rid of all their stuff. So they have free cap space to get him. They have a bunch of money, but I don't know if he's willing to people do respect Popovich. They do respect him.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if they're going to build a team around him, because how old is Westbrook? He's 28?
He's 30.
He's 30, I think, yeah.
30?
Yeah.
It ain't even I know age doesn't matter. He's not LeBron. He's not going to be able to transition his game to the 3-point line like LeBron just have and take those light layups and then use all his power, during important moments. He's not going to do that. So what I personally think he should do, I don't think he should retire, and I don't think he should go to the Spurs, but I definitely, this is this hypothetical thing. I would like to see him back with KD, to be honest. I want to see him back with KD. I know me and Aiden talked about it yesterday a little bit, not the other day a little bit. I was like, I kind of do want to see him back with KD, just a tiny bit. But I know that's never gonna happen. I know that's never gonna happen. But maybe, they know how to play with each other. They know, they used to be former #brothers, So I personally think he should go. I think he should go to Brooklyn Nets, but I don't know what they're gonna get. They have to trade something. And I also heard that I think I saw recently about trying to do trade deals with the Timberwolves or something like that, trying to get little Anthony, Anthony Davis is prone, and they don't want to get rid of him, but I feel like you should that's another topic, but I do feel like they should do something about that. Aiden, what do you think about it?
Yeah, Westbrook, I mean, when I heard about him going to the Lakers last season, he doesn't mesh well with a guy like LeBron. I mean, LeBron when him and AD is so good because he can space the floor or he can play in. With Westbrook, you can't really space the floor because, you don't really want him shooting those perimeter shots. So when you have him out there, he kind of is just taking up space. So I agree with you and Rachel. I think he's got to go to a team where he's the main emphasis point. Maybe the Spurs, maybe it's Oklahoma City Thunder. Maybe he goes back to them. I'm not really sure, but I think I doubt I think he's at a point in his career where he still thinks that he should be in a starting roster and still be that guy. And I think, until he develops a shot, you really can't have him out there, especially with the turnover issues too. I mean, you can't have him as your main ball handler when he's turning the ball over that much. So wherever he goes, I think, he's got to figure that out himself, what he wants to transition to in his career. But I think him and LeBron, I just don't think that's a good mesh. I don't think even back when they first joined, I didn't think it was a good mesh. So I think he needs to go to a team where either he's the guy or they just surround him with a bunch of shooters because he clearly can't knock down the three ball. So whatever it is, he's got to be the vocal point or like Rachel said, maybe he's got plenty of money in the bank to retire. So, there's nothing wrong with hanging it up and then going to a private island and, calling it quits. Who said that's a bad idea? So
he can never go broke. The only way he goes broke if he just spends all his money, but there's no way with the money he made, especially going up getting the shoes, the extension he got with OKC, the money he got with Washington, Houston, Lakers. Like, bro, you not broke. He knows that he not broke because he said in the interview he already won. He said he already won. He not, and I think he said in one interview he wasn't really thinking about a championship. I'm paraphrasing. Don't get me wrong on that. I don't want him to come back on me. But he said he don't. When they asked him,
he ain't worried about it.
Exactly, he really not worried about it. So it's like, okay, we're gonna keep going.
Buy himself a yacht.
Exactly, buy himself a yacht. You might not be big as
Bezos,
but it'll be a yacht. Look now. Speaking of other trades, we got KD and Kyrie on the trading block now. They said with KD, they got talks about him going to the Suns and trying to trade over there. Then you got now they really said Dwight was talking about trade was the Timberwolves. Now you have actual trades right now today. Found out today Boston is talking about trading with them to get trading Jaylen Brown to get KD. Now, do you believe that KD is worth Jaylen Brown and a couple first round picks? That trade, do you think Boston will win that trade if they do that? Aiden, I'll go with you.
Yeah, if I'm Jaylen Brown and I saw that this morning, I'd be pretty pissed because, I mean, in that Warriors series, I thought he was their best player. And, I thought it wasn't even close. I mean, Tatum, I don't know if it was the extended minutes that affected Tatum, but he didn't look like their number one guy. To me, Brown looks like that guy. I mean, if he can improve his dribbling, I think he could be a legit superstar. But if I'm him this morning, I'm pretty pissed at whoever threw my name in the trade rumors. I think as a Nets fan, I would love Jaylen Brown. I mean, I think he's only 25, a lot of potential, great defensive player, doesn't really get hurt that much. So I would love that. But I think Celtics fans, that really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think giving up a young piece like that, so valuable to the franchise. He just literally came off a finals where he played excellently. He just needs to focus on dribbling a little bit. But I think the Nets and KD, I mean, it's going to take a lot to get Kevin Durant. Let's just be real. It's not going to, be a couple second-round picks and whatever. It's going to be a lot of stuff. But to me, I think Jaylen Brown, I think if it's just 1-for-1, maybe the Nets don't do that. But as a Celtics fan, I don't think I'd want Kevin Durant if it cost Jaylen Brown or even Jason Tatum, even though Jason Tatum didn't play that great either. I think they have a good young core there, and I don't think you want to mess that up.
Okay. Nah, that what you said is correct, because it's like, why Jaylen Brown during that series didn't give up. Even if he say he didn't score the best, he gonna play defense. Jason Tatum lost in the burst, nowhere to be found. just not there, just not present at all. Jason Tatum just lost like a little baby trying to find his mama in the store, like just lost completely. No, like nowhere to be found, just no silence, and then like just no impact. Like go play defense, go hustle, go do something. Stop trying to do these missing layups, missing shots,
wide open,
and then try. Foul. No, nobody touched you. You're delusional. You're tripping. What I think KD should do is that he should stay. I think he should try to stay. I know he wants to go. I think he should stay. Play it out. Because KD, if anybody try to get you, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose this trade every time. There's no like, oh, the only reason why they'll ever win the trade is if they win the championship. If KD goes, let's just say Detroit. That's my favorite team. I love Detroit. Go D. Go shout out to the D. But look, if they trade KD Cunningham and all them, right? All the core young players, and they get KD. Some might say that's a good trade. I say no. But if they win a championship, then that's a good trade. If they win the championship, that's a good trade. You got to buck off your investment. Now, you got to worry about the later years, but if you get a championship that year, or at least in 2 or 3 years, then you won that. Just like how Kawhi went to the Raptors, got a championship that year, going on. They respected it because they got their chip, and they going on. Man, I'm pretty sure they're glad about him going, because he blows management. He can't stay. He stay hurt. Something wrong with him. He need to go talk. He need to go get some biscuits from his mama, because I don't know what he got going on. He need to do something about that. Like I love Kawhi. He doesn't talk, but God, you got to stop getting injured. People want to come see you play. Kids, family members will come see you play, and you're not playing. That's another tough road. But I think KD definitely needs to go do something about that. What do you think about, Rachel? Where do you think KD should go? Unless you already answered.
No, I agree with you, Kim. I think he should stay in Brooklyn. You played 1 year with Kyrie, and you're chalking it up as a loss. And Kyrie didn't even play majority of the game, so I don't feel like this past year was indicative of what the Brooklyn Nets can do as a team. So personally, I feel like he should stay. Do I think he's going to stay? Probably not. But like you were saying, most teams are they're gonna lose out on that trade. Though I would like to see KD in Miami. That's my team. So we don't got no pieces to get him though. So that's fine.
Y'all do. You got Tyler Hero. You got Tyler Hero. You can try to get some.
Yeah, but they're not doing that straight up. They wanted Jaylen Brown, so they were going to give him Jaylen Brown and what's his name?
Marcus
the guy
Smart?
with the curly
Marcus
hair.
Smart. Was it Marcus
Well, they
Smart?
were talking
Derek
about
White.
him too.
Derek White.
Yeah, you're right.
They wanted Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and a draft pick, and they still said no. So like I said, if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm mad because he was 100% the best player in that series.
Yes, and the thing is, they always do that. They always put Jason Tatum in the forefront, like Jason Tatum.
No, he was
But
gone.
Jaylen Brown does the same thing he does, but better, and hustles better. He does it in a more consistent way.
And he was consistent. He was consistently that guy.
Exactly. Every time Jaylen Brown has been consistent. Jason Tatum is not consistent at all. It's just so bad and it's ridiculous. What do y'all think about Kyrie? Where do y'all think he should go now? Kyrie wants to go back to LA. Kyrie's over there. You got videos of him.
In Brooklyn.
He on a trading block too. They got him wanting to. They got him.
I think he wants to stay in Brooklyn though.
I don't know what they're going through that man's head. One minute he want to play, and the next minute he don't want to play. Look,
that's true too. Look, nobody wants to gamble on that though.
Next, and then the other day he don't want to be in 2K no more. So I don't know where his mind is at. But he's over there on video, video smiling, clapping, waving at LeBron James like nothing never happened, like they never left. He wants to be there. He's talking to LeBron. They're trying to get him like. Yeah. Come get me, da 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 da. Right, exactly. Like whatever. But the thing is, it's like, okay, so what do y'all think he should do, Rachel? What do you think he should do? What should happen? I think they should stay
in Brooklyn. They should run it back. They need to run it back.
You think they should run it back? I don't know, because they can't even play together. They can't even not even.
They didn't try. I don't think they tried.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't think they really. I don't think they really tried either. Aiden, what do you think?
Yeah, as a Nets fan, I mean, I love Kyrie. I think what he can do is so special, and his ball handling ability and the scoring is one of the best I've ever seen. But that team last year, I mean, we lost in the first round of the playoffs. We didn't even win a playoff game. I think it's a team problem rather than individual. I think even though Kyrie missed a lot of games and wasn't there, I don't think Steve Nash is a great coach. I'm not even sure how Ben Simmons is going to fit in. He still hasn't played, so who knows how he's going to do. And they really don't have a lot of bench guys. I mean, Seth Curry's pretty good, but other than that, I mean, we had Dragic, who's like 33, 34, come play for us. So it doesn't seem like it's a team how we had back in like 20. Yeah, Blake, exactly. So it's just like it's a weird team that's put together. If they do run it back, they'll probably make the playoffs. I don't think it's a championship team, but I just think it's more of a team issue rather than it's a Kyrie or KD issue. And I also think Steve Nash isn't equipped to coach this team either. I don't think he's experienced enough to coach the team.
If y'all don't remember, KD and Kyrie were the one who got Steve Nash the job, and people were complaining about that job because it's like, you came in, you're not, regardless if you train or coach, KD and anything like that, you're not an experienced coach in the NBA. You're just not. You don't know how he wasn't able to rally the troops. He did good in a press conference because he's a basketball player. They all gotta have press conference practice. But at the same time, he didn't rally the troops. I heard they were Kyrie holding practices with other teammates instead of with the actual team, like doing stuff like that. That's not teamwork. That's not how the team goes. As Perk say, that's not how we roll around here. That's not how we roll. He did that, and they got him there, and now y'all want to get rid of him. Oh no. I don't even know who they should put as the coach at this point, because I don't know who would want to take that job. That's a bunch of mess, and you got to deal with press and all that and trying to rebuild that team. I don't even know who would want to deal with that, to be honest. Steve Nash, I love him. He was a great player. He got that unanimous, MVP, which I still don't think he should get, but he got that. We got it, but you're not a good coach, and y'all brought him over there. Y'all brought this team together, KD, Kyrie. Y'all did this, so now you got to come. You got to come forth. Don't just try to leave. You don't see LeBron leaving. Yeah, LeBron hasn't said much about it, but you don't see him going. You don't see him asking to be traded. Now, LeBron James tomorrow says, I want to be traded. Then y'all kill me now because I didn't know. I didn't know. But I don't think he's going to do that. He wants to be a Laker. Who don't want to be a Laker? Who wants to be a Brooklyn Nets? Come on. They should have went to the Knicks. When they was first talking about it, they should have went to the Knicks, blockbuster, news in your face. I think it would have been fine. But I don't know. Brooklyn Nets, they gotta do better than that, and they just gotta figure something out with KD and them. I got a weird question. I don't know if y'all agree or not. It's an old player. He used to do Superman's dunks all the time and things like that. He's kind of he's a bench player. He'll give you like 10 rebounds a game. Sometimes he'll give you like a spark of 20 points, and it'll be crazy. You know, he switched teams. He on 1 year deals now. Dwight Howard, ring a bell? Does that ring a bell to y'all names? To y'all heads? Is he a Hall of Famer? Yes or no? Go, Aiden.
I mean, from 2008 till about 2013, maybe 12, I would say, 100%. And then you look at the back injuries, you look at when he went to the Rockets, and then when he went to play with Kobe and the Lakers with Steve Nash on the team and Pau Gasol, and then you kind of look at his career afterwards. It's a tough guy. I think he will, just because he was the best big man in the league for about 5 seasons, and I don't think a lot of big men can say that about themselves. I mean,
he was better. They were saying he was better than LeBron at the time. He was white. They were saying.
I
remember as a child, they were saying he was better than LeBron. I remember that because he defenses of the year every year and all team. He with the Magic and things like that. He was going crazy. Sorry. Yeah.
And they beat that Cavs team in that Eastern Conference Finals to go to the finals and play the Lakers. So you could, I mean, I'm sure why I understand that argument. I mean, he was one of the best defensive players, if not the best defensive players. You know, he's going to get 11 to 12 rebounds every game. And on the post, I mean, he was virtually unstoppable. I mean, he had some great post moves. He could jump out of the gym, like you said, Superman, and he was just a good guy, good teammate. And that Magic team, I mean, that was an amazing Magic team. Didn't really have a lot of stars. They did have Hedo Turkoglu. He wasn't bad. Jamar Nelson, he wasn't bad. But, you know, in my opinion, I think he will be a Hall of Famer just because from that span of time, he was one of the best players in the NBA. And I think it's a little bit different from like a Greg Oden. I know Greg Oden didn't really play that many games, but at least he had that 5 to 6 year of dominance rather than just 1 or 2 years. So I think, yeah, those 5 to 6 years is just hard to pass up.
Rachel, what do you think?
Do I think he's going to be in the Hall of Fame? Probably. Would he be on my first ballot Hall of Fame? No, I don't think so. Like the first 8 years, yes, 100%. But since then, he's been essentially a ghost. Like, yes, he won the 2020 championships with the Lakers. Was he really a core piece? No. He got back injuries, and he went to Houston, caused drama with Harden in Houston, then went to the Lakers, caused drama in the Lakers because he didn't want to take a bench role. I just think there's a lot of good players in the NBA. A lot of them don't become Hall of Famers.
Okay, and I'm gonna read you his stats. I'm gonna read you the stats.
I have him 8 times NBA All-Star, 5 times All-NBA, 3 consecutive DPOYs. I know he led the NBA rebounds for 5 times. That was in the first 8 years. He's gotten nothing since then other than a
5
championship.
5 time all defensive player. 5 times. Yeah. 3 defensive players.
I'm saying he is a good basketball player. If we were just looking at the 8 or so years in the first part of his career, yes. Do I think he probably will be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. In my opinion, is he first ballot? No.
Okay. We're going. Okay. Ooh,
I knew that one was gonna upset people.
I'm typing. Look at this. I'm typing. I took this from a show. We're gonna bring Draymond Green into the picture. Do you think Draymond Green is a first ballot Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
See, that's a good question. Question, Cam.
Because if you compare Dwight Howard and their stats together, Dwight Howard's above him. But you have some people saying, "Oh, he got the Finals MVP."
As of right now, no.
Okay.
No, I don't have him in the Hall of Fame. As of right now, no.
Okay. Aiden?
This is hard because, like, judging on past people who've made the Hall of Fame, I mean, Dennis Rodman's in the Hall of Fame, and do I think he's the Hall of Fame? Do I think he's a top 100 player of all time, like skill wise? No. Do I think he got lucky and not lucky, but he fit a very good team and he did his job very well. He played defense and he got rebounds and he won championships. Draymond Green does that as well. Do I think he's as skilled as Dwight Howard? Heck no, but he is an asset to that team. So it's kind of a tough question just because in the past, they kind of like if you win championships and they kind of favor that over some other things. But to me, do I think Draymond Green should be in the Hall of Fame? No. Do I think he will be? Probably. But I just, if you go off history, I mean, Dennis Rodman's in it. He's probably going to be in it too just because the 4 championships, he's won a lot. He's been in first team defense a couple times. So I think just because of that, he's going to get in. But I do not think he's definitely a top 100 skill basketball player of all time. Not even close.
Okay, that's interesting because I've had this talk with people all the time. It's just like Dwight Howard. I say he's a Hall of Famer, especially because I remember what he was playing. I remember what he was doing. I remember watching those games when I was little. I remember what he did, the impact he had, and I know how certain times, in certain eras, they're always like, just because he didn't get the rings and things like that was a good player. Just like how, the Charles Barkleys of the world, the Patrick Ewings of the world, we know those are good players. They never got a championship, but those were great players, right? And nobody never talks about their ending seasons like that either, right? So I don't think we should. I think we should also give the same thing to Dwight Howard when he leaves. Right now, he's still in the NBA, and it's like, stats matter to our generation, especially. We see LeBron James because the Michael Jordan and LeBron James debate will forever be an ongoing thing. They always say, "Oh, look at LeBron James' stats," and they'll say, "Oh, well, Jordan 6 rings. Oh, well, he's able to make his teams do things like that. This and the third." So it's like a whole bunch, like a whole weird thing going on with that, and I really do think Draymond Green definitely does not need to be in the Hall of Fame. I love Draymond Green. I love what he does for the team. He is the piece that puts that Golden State team together. I'm not gonna say he is not that piece. He is the glue. He's the glue. He's the glue. And he's the toughness of that team. And before a couple years ago, he did fill the stat sheet up. He was giving 3-point balls. He was dropping 15 points per game. He was getting rebounds. He was going crazy on defense. He did guard LeBron James. That Finals MVP he got, and he only got it because he guarded LeBron James. Anybody could have got that. Iguodala did. Well, I think he did. Yeah, Iguodala did. So, and all they did was guard LeBron. That's all they did. And LeBron still dropped 40.
Yeah,
how you guard LeBron? He's still triple double, having a triple double in the finals, breaking records. Whatever, right? And I really do think that Dwight Howard is definitely not. He might not be first ballot. He's definitely number 2, and he's the number 1 on their number 2 ballot. Now if he retired this year, it might be a little weird because there's a lot of people not retiring, things like that. You still got people who trying to get in the little mix or whatever. But I think what they're doing, I think what Dwight Howard's doing, if he just keeps, I think if Dwight Howard has one good year and a crazy phenomenal year and leaves the NBA, I think he'll be first ballot because I think they'll be like, oh, I forgot. He hit this man right here used to be considered one of the best players in the NBA at the time when he was playing, when he was in his prime. Oh, we forgot.
If you can find the Fountain of Youth one more time. Okay.
All right. Okay. We're gonna agree on that. Okay, we're gonna agree on that. Okay, I got one more question for y'all. I think we can go here. But out of the rookies that got drafted this year, who do y'all most anticipate? Who do y'all think will be who will get the rookie of the year next season? Go, Rachel.
Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith. Why? Why Jabari Smith? I agree with you, but why?
Yeah. I seen his summer highlights, and I think the style of basketball he plays now is the best to translate in professional, into the professional aspect. He played great college ball. How he played in the summer league was great. He can hit threes, which is the epitome of basketball in this day and age. And I think he just has the best style of play that's going to translate into today's game. And I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Okay. What about you, Aiden?
I like Jabari, the Auburn guy. To me, this one, I know a lot of people aren't going to like this because he was the number 1 pick, but I think Banchero is the best player. I don't think it's very close. And I think he's in the best situation, even though he's with the Magic. People are like, man, the Magic can't develop young talent. But to be fair, he's really the only, Cole Anthony's not bad. They have some decent young talent, but I think he's the best young piece in that team by far. I think he's probably going to average 18 to 20 points, maybe 6 rebounds. I think he's going to be a big part of that offense. And I think he's the best player that they've probably had since Dwight Howard. So I think they hit a home run with that draft. I expect him to do big things. I think he's like, what, 6'10", 6'11", and he can, dribble, shoot. He can do whatever you want. He's athletic. I think the Magic have been, needing somebody like him, and I think he's gonna have an explosive season for the Magic.
Okay. I agree with y'all. I agree with both of y'all takes, but I definitely go with Jabari. I think he's a hustler. I think he's just a great player, and I really understand like his he just feels like when watching him play, it just feels like I can see that in NBA. It was the same with what's it called? What's his name? I'm about to butcher his name. Oh man, why am I forgetting his name? He played for the Memphis Grizzlies rookie. Oh my god, playmaker. Honestly, the next coming to Westbrook.
John Morant,
yes. Like not like saying he compares to Ja, but I'm saying like when Ja was playing, you can see the transition into the NBA.
I see where you get that from.
And then boom, we see what's going on with now. The transition from the college to the NBA, it was like boom, it was easy transition. Easy, and everybody was like, no, he's not. They was going for Zion and things like that. I think this is gonna same thing for Jabbar. I think what he did in the college, and I think what he's gonna do in the NBA, and if he trains with his team and things like that, and gets the coaching things, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll do great, and I think that everything he's doing right now, if like with the social media stuff like that, he's talking to his viewers and talking about the great stuff they're gonna do. I think he'll be great, and I think that if he continues to just show like he's on his Instagram, you can see like what they're doing and things like that, and just keep practicing, go hard. I think he'll do great. What about y'all know the tall skinny boys from OKC? Y'all know y'all know. What do y'all think about them? I'm just very curious on your opinion about tall skinny dude. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I just see him and I just see him like flying across the court, like knocked over. He just doesn't like. Yes, he's tall, but he's got no muscle in that body. Like you got to have some muscle to stand to get. Like I think he's just gonna get plowed through in the NBA. I really do.
You think so? I mean, he's so small. Like KD was small too. He's lengthy, skinny. Like, do you think he'll get?
KD played small forward though, Cam. He's playing. It sounds like Chet's going to be playing power forward or even center, and he's going to be having to go against like guys like Joel Embiid, who's 275 pounds of pure muscle, and I think unless he gets up to like 230 or 225, I don't think he can play center or power forward just because, he's just going to get bullied. It doesn't matter if he can shoot or score. He can't guard the paint. And even though he's got length, I mean, if you're going to get bullied inside, like even against LeBron, if he covers LeBron, I think he's just going to bounce right off of him, So I think he's got to put on some muscle. I think he'll do fine his rookie year just because he can shoot and score and play make. But I think as he grows, he's definitely got to hit the gym and start bulking up a little bit.
Ooh, boy, that boy, oh my god. And and he wasn't like, and I was like, okay, Thunder, they got Chet. I was like, okay, Chet's cool. I like the way he played I like the way he played in college, things like that. I like the way he played, but I don't know, man. I don't know. He's too small. He just like he needs that what Giannis did. I don't know what Giannis did before he became so big and strong, but he need to do what Giannis doing. And right now, he need to go eat. He need to go eat what Zion was eating when he was getting big. Now Zion has slimmed down a lot. I don't know if y'all recently saw him, but he slimmed down a lot in his recent like practice videos. But he need to go eat what Zion was eating in Louisiana. Boy, they got some good food. Oklahoma City, they got some IA food, but he gonna go there and eat Louisiana. What do y'all think about Polo? I know he got traded to the Magic. What do y'all think about him? He was first round pick. Do y'all think he should have been first round, especially with his like issue? I think where he sweats like consistently. Do y'all think he'll be able to 7
pounds, something like that?
Yeah. Do y'all? I always was weirded out about that because it's just like, how would that? It's gonna be tougher in the NBA, and I don't know how he's gonna be able to like manage that because he's gonna have to work hard to like actually get somewhere, and that's a lot of strain on the body. Do y'all think he'll be able to like survive? Is like a crazy word, but do y'all think he'll be able to survive? Like I think it's definitely warranted to ask about that question.
That's a good point. I don't know. I don't think so. Unless he's got like an IV in the locker room at halftime after every quarter. I don't know. There's athletes out here playing every minute of every NBA basketball game, especially in the playoffs. I just don't think that he has the stamina to do that. Not that he would as a rookie, playing that many minutes, but you got to start somewhere, and he's never going to get to that point if he profusely loses 7 pounds every time he plays basketball. Like that's just it ain't gonna add up right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was the one thing that concerned me because I didn't really. I mean, I'm not super smart, so I couldn't figure out how he could physically sweat off that much. But I know at Duke they have people much smarter than me there. They have him. They were designing a drink for him, which I think has more electrolytes or something that's supposed to help him. But now that he's in the pros, I mean, you can go to virtually anybody, any scientist or a doctor. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm sure he can find something that will help. But like Rachel said, I mean, if you're like if they're in like a playoff game, I'm sure that he's going to get the LeBron James treatment where he's only going to have timeouts as breaks. So how is he going to adjust to 48 minutes nonstop, constant pressure, intensity? How is he going to deal with that? We don't know until he's in that moment. So I think that's the biggest red flag. But potential wise, I mean, he has all the tools, all the assets, skills. He's got everything. So it's there.
A good team.
And they got a good young team. But yeah, they just got to develop some young talent. I think that's more on their coaching staff than the players. But I think he's in a good position with that Magic team, and I hope that he can stay healthy. And that I'm not sure what that issue is called, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't affect him too much.
It's something I was trying to look it up earlier before I talked about it. I can't really. I'm trying to find it, but like it's apparently it's like a common thing.
Oh, it is? Huh? I thought it was rare. It was rare. I didn't know it was common, huh?
I saw somewhere where somebody said it was common. It's not. I really don't know, so I'm trying to look it up right now because like it's weird.
I'm trying to figure out mathematically how somebody sweats out 7 pounds.
Exactly, right? Like, exactly.
His body produced that much sweat. Like, that's just insane. I mean, I hope him the best. I hope he does great. Like, that's great for him if he can, get some doctor that can doctor up something, great for him. I wish him the most success. But, health comes first, and I hope that he realizes that. And he only got one body, and I hope he treats it right. So.
Yeah, and yeah, they said it's really not that abnormal. Yeah, according to Dr. Brian Sutter of the MD, losing 7 pounds of sweat is really not that abnormal. He said in the video from the basketball player studies, and he has sweats and losing 3 liters is like losing 8 to 9 pounds or whatever. And the disease is mentioned. The disease, no specific is there's like no specific disease about it, according to this article I'm reading right now. I don't know how old this article is, but apparently there's no real disease that goes with it. So I guess maybe it's something. I guess maybe it's something just to do with him, and maybe how it affects his body. It may not affect other people just the same as him. So he has to probably develop this like thing or whatever, or some weird thing like that. But I think I think he'll be fine. I also think that he'll translate as well, just like you said, Jabbar. I think he'll translate. I think he's very smooth when he goes to lab. I think he's very aggressive sometimes when he can't play. I think he's a team maker. You see him and Duke trying to get his team hype and things like that all the time and trying to encourage his teammates to get better and things like that. But I think that's all we have, folks. Thank you for joining me on the Off the Cuff. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Rachel, for being there for me. I really appreciate it. If you got any last words, any other topics y'all want to talk about before we go?
I just want to say one thing for the Dwight Howard conversation. I just realized Yao Ming is in the Hall of Fame, so I think Dwight should be in the Hall of Fame if Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame.
Yao Ming's in there.
Yeah, he is. So I think by that, I think Dwight should, just because Yao was hurt. He never won a championship.
You're gonna say like every other person could be in the Hall of Fame, like Draymond Green, because Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame. You can't start putting just because this person's in the Hall of Fame.
Exactly.
This person.
Exactly.
Because
and that's the thing.
Players who played against that all has factors in it. So.
Exactly. That facts. Literally, there's a difference between, because the NBA Hall of Fame, right, is like, basketball Hall of Fame. Let me say that basketball Hall of Fame, because anybody from even overseas can get in the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame in America and things like that, all the time. You don't really hear about it, things like that. It's not really big, but we hear we it happens, right? Y'all mean you got one All NBA team, NBA Rookie of the Team, and CBA most valuable player. We don't care about that, right? We don't care about 2 NBAs. Only 2 accolades. We all know Dwight Howard's accolades. We know that. I think Dwight Howard should be, because I know people try to do like the basketball. I think he definitely should be in the NBA Hall of Fame. Our little pseudo Hall of Fame that all the announcers and broadcasters thinks about. I definitely do think he should be. He's the low. If we were talking about NBA Hall of Fame, he's the lowest ballot. But I think he needs to be in there. Yeah, no. That's the Basketball Hall of Fame. They try and do that. I know why they did it, and I know why they did it. Representation, because Jeremy Lin is probably gonna be in there too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get why he's gonna be in there too, because accolades, some of his accolades, but it's like they got to represent everybody and things like that. And I don't think these stats. I don't want to be mean or nothing and things like that, right? Say anything but your stats don't lie. Your play don't lie. We love Jeremy Lin. He's a great person off the field. He does a lot of things for his community. He does a lot of things. He represents community very well. He does stand up for his people. He do all that stuff. But this not on the court. That's a plus. We talking about the court. We're talking about the court. You can tell, shout out to him, open up organizations in China trying to get people to play basketball. But we're talking about here. We're talking about NBA on the court. The accolades don't stand up. So, but that was good talking to you guys. I think we got quite a bit of time on that. And I think we got some good discussions. Definitely, if we talk next week, I can't wait to talk to y'all next week. And that's off the cuff for you guys. See you. Peace.